We're going to talk today about how to propagate plants from cuttings, that is, rooting cuttings from established plants. For this project, you'll probably be needing a clipper or a pruning shear and a nice sharp knife, fairly clean preferably, some rooting hormones such as this one, which is Rootone, and something to clean the knife and the shear, such as alcohol or perhaps a Clorox solution. First thing is we would take the plant that we're dealing with. Let me grab one of these here. Okay. Let's say I want to make some cuttings of this. This happens to be a pittosporum. It's a variegated pittosporum, and the variegated pittosporum doesn't come true from seed, but it will root from cuttings fairly readily. So this is the way the plant typically grows. We wouldn't just stick this in there. This growth is pretty woody and pretty hardened and probably would not form roots very readily. So what I would do is to cut this into individual cuttings. Let me go ahead and make a cutting here, again at about a 45-degree angle. And I will do something else that I had not mentioned up to this point, and that is I'll take a knife and I'll actually do a couple of vertical scores in that in order to expose more cambium tissue. All right, because what has to happen is that the wound tissue, either where it was cut at the bottom or the cuts that we made vertically in there, will develop into a callus that sort of covers and tries to heal that wound. And if it's under the soil, under the medium, it will then start to differentiate at a later date, maybe within a few weeks, into root tissue. So that's where the roots come from. One other thing then is we'd probably want to go ahead and put some of our rooting hormone, in this case I'm just putting a little bit of, more than a little bit I guess, of Rootone on a little saucer, and I will carefully drag this across there to pick up some of that Rootone. I don't want to just shove it in there because I don't want to plug up the pores of the plant. We want to leave that open as much as possible. So then that is ready to be stuck into the moist medium. So we'll just put it into there like that, and there's one cutting. At the point where you've finished filling up this tray with as many cuttings as you can get in there reasonably, you don't want to just shove them in real close, but you want to give them a little space, but get a lot of them in there. You'll take the tray and then water it down, mist it, so that you get the cuttings all misted well and also get the medium fully saturated. You don't want to just soak it, but give it enough moisture that there's moisture there present. And then this whole tray can be placed in a shady location underneath a tree or something of that sort, or in a north side of a building where it doesn't get direct sunlight. Or if it's in a place where it tends to be very dry, you may actually want to put some sticks, make a little teepee, and throw some polyethylene over the top of it, and that'll hold the moisture in. And then maybe every day or so, open it up and spray it with some fresh water, just to keep the leaves from wilting. Now, if you just put this out in the sun, or someplace where it's going to just get really dry, all of it's just going to wilt and it won't root. So it has to have some moisture, and you want to try to keep the leaves from wilting during that period. And that is how we go about propagating by cuttings. And this is Peter Gallagher with State by State Gardening. Thank you.